Hey, what's going on, YouTube family? I was yesterday's video, I was speaking on vision. And I really been, just pondering on that, and I've been letting that marinate today. And when you think about it, literally, it's crazy that the things that we complain about, it's almost like we be searching for the wrong thing. Let me start right there. And let me go ahead and recollect my thoughts. It's almost like we be searching for the wrong thing. And we ask for the wrong thing, and we be praying for the wrong thing, right? And we pray for jobs. Hey, God, send me a job. Hey, God, send me another job. Hey, God, send me a better job, whatever the situation may be. And please hear me when I say this. I'm not knocking jobs. I'm not knocking people trying to work. That's not what I'm knocking. I'm knocking our mentality, right? I'm judging our mentality. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. It's like we be praying for things unintentionally, subconsciously. Because in a past video, I was speaking on problems versus symptoms. And a lot of times, especially in our generation, I feel as if we're confusing problems with symptoms. And I get the same analogy every time. That way it can stick. If your head is hurting, you having a headache is not the problem. It's a symptom. It can be the fact that you fell and hit your head. That's the problem. It can be the fact that you were drinking last night and you got a hangover. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that your head is hurting is not the problem. It's a symptom. And I'm saying that because a lot of times, I think that we think that a lack of finances, that not having a job is the problem. And hear me out. It's not the job that I feel like we should be praying for. I think we should be praying for vision, right? Like, we should be praying for vision. Let me tell you what I mean for vision, like when I say for vision. Because if we really realized, you dig what I'm saying? Like, if we really realized that at the end of the day, I don't know if it just got darker or not, but if we really realize that at the end of the day, there's businesses all around us. Why? Because there's problems all around us. Stick with me. What do you mean when you say there's problems all around us? Okay. If it's fall time, you stay in, Dallas, Texas, you stay somewhere with trees and they have a fall, right? It's going to be leaves everywhere. The problem in that situation is that folks have leaves all in front of their houses. That's a problem. The problem in that situation is that they don't feel like cleaning up them leaves. They don't feel like raking leaves. Leaves are everywhere. They don't want their yard to look a mess. That's a problem. Can you see their problem as your solution? And if so, if there is 15 houses on the block and you're able to charge $25 per house to rake their leaves, you didn't just gain yourself a job. You just created yourself a business. And you created yourself a business because you just solved the problem. You feel me? And so, let's take it a step further. When you look at the revolving door was created because, and it's a true story, it was created by a young man, a kid actually at the time. He was walking with his mother. Way back then, right? He was walking with his mother, and she used to always make him open the door for herself as well as other people. And he got tired of having to open the door. And so when he came to a point to where he can be able to find a solution for it, he created the revolving door. That way, he no longer had to open it, right? He found a problem and created a solution for it. Let's keep going. When it comes to the stuff that we all hate, what they call them things, the meters, parking meters. When it comes to parking meters were created because at one point in time, a man was trying to get to the bank before they closed. Again, another true story. A man was trying to get to the bank before they closed. And it was downtown. We all know downtown. And because he had made it on time, however, him looking for parking was crazy. And so what he did was, in order to change that, he created parking meters, because he felt like it is not right for people to just be able to park however long they want to and there'd be no penalties. So he created parking meters to ensure that, okay, at least now we have more control over when people have to park, when people can leave, if people are able to get a close up spot so we can pay for it, whatever the situation is. It made it more convenient for him, which made it also more convenient for other people, because his problem was also other people's problem. And he created a solution for it. And again, we can keep going and we can keep going and we can keep going. The whole thing behind that is, we don't lack opportunities. We don't lack businesses. We don't lack finances. We don't lack money. We lack vision. And where there is no vision, people perish. And so if we start focusing on, again, not looking for a job, but looking for problems, I feel like just that mind shift alone will free up a lot of individuals. And just that mindset alone will be able to give people the power that they need, the liberation that they need, to know that, no, you do have more control over your life than what you give yourself credit for. Like, you do have more control over your life. Jantra, how can you say that? Because at that point in time, it don't come down to what somebody else gives you. It comes down to what can you see. You follow me? It comes down to what can you see. So that person who got millions, don't mean that that person who got millions is better than you. That simply just means that person who got millions, they see things a little different. And so if you're able to start seeing things in different manners, the cash flow difficulties that you're having will be no longer. If you're able to walk outside, and instead of walking outside searching for jobs, walk outside and search for problems, and then spend your time trying to see if it's something worth finding a solution for, then you will make yourself valuable. And the more valuable you make yourself, the more individuals want to pay you for the knowledge and the value in which you have. And so if you focus on self, if you focus on problems, if you focus on creating value, then all the problems that we have will be solved. Right? And so my message for the day, be it short, be it sweet, is simply this. Let's start changing our mindsets, man. Let's start focusing on vision. I gave the example yesterday of Helen Keller. We all know Helen Keller, or at least heard the name Helen Keller. And that was the woman who was blind, who was deaf, who was mute. But yet, she ended up being a world leader, received all type of humanitarian awards, received all type of the highest honors, was paid to speak at multiple spots. Hear me out. Multiple spots, paid to speak. But she's deaf, she was blind, and she was mute. Why did they pay her? Because though she was blind, she still can see. She still had vision. And when she was asked, what would you hate more than being blind? Her response was, being able to see, but having no vision. Being able to see, having eyes to see, but having no vision. And again, another true story. So if that don't put some fire up under you, up under me, up under us, to let us know that if we're struggling or we're stressing out or we're going through any obstacles that involve finances, it is 100% on us. Take all the other excuses out the way for a second. Take all the oppression out the way for a second. You were talking about somebody who was blind, somebody who was mute, and somebody who was deaf. So for this 1 second, miss me with all the excuses. Miss me with the victim. Like, miss me with all that, man. Like, At what point do we take accountability? That's a whole nother question. That's a whole nother topic. At what point do we take accountability? We quit to talk about oppression, talk about this, talk about that, talk about the man, talk about whatever the equation is. We talking about somebody who was born blind, not became blind throughout her life, born blind, born deaf, and born mute, and yet died literally a world leader. Talking about oppression. If you listen to me, that means you still have your ears. If you're seeing me, that means you still have your eyesight. And if you talk it down on this video, that means you still have your voice. But you struggling? But you going through cash flow difficulties? But it's a job that's going to save you. I got it. It's a job that's going to save you. It's not the fact that you lack vision. Going back to what I was saying when I first started this video, we need to understand problems versus symptoms. The problem is not that you don't have a good job, and that's why you have cash flow difficulties. No, you having cash flow difficulties, you struggling financially, you going through hardships in terms of finances is a symptom. The problem is, my brother, you lack vision. The problem is, my sister, you lack vision. I had to check myself and look myself in the mirror and tell myself, the problem is, John Trey, you lack vision. Open your eyes. Start searching for problems and figuring out solutions. Start being more valuable. Have a vision. And once you have that vision is going to give you the discipline you need to be able to achieve it. It's going to give you the power that you need to achieve it, the authority you need to achieve it. And at that point, I can almost guarantee you, if you solve a problem, if you find a solution, you having cash flow difficulties will never be a thing again. Change your mindset. Open up your eyes. And start seeing. You dig what I'm saying? And as always, when I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to self. It's just car conversations right now. When I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to self. So hopefully this bless somebody today. And with that being said, it's been yours truly, John Trey. And we out. Gone.